Mohammed, Director General of National Center for Governance, Integrity and Anti-Corruption, Mr. Sivan Prisna, United Nations Resident Coordinator in Malaysia, Mr. Martin Krutner, former Dean and Executive Secretary of International Anti-Corruption Academy, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a significant occasion today as we gather to launch the Perdana International Anti-Corruption Champion Foundation, or PIACCF. This foundation will be responsible for the International Anti-Corruption Champion Fund and complement the aspirations of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. What makes this fund special and at the same time important is because it acts as a support system for anti-corruption officers who had been victimized and subjected to persecution in the line of duty. We know that combating and exposing corruption are very dangerous, and the world have witnessed many of those who attempted to do so paid dearly, even with their lives. Obviously, those who involve themselves in corruption are powerful and rich, and their objectives are to be for more power and wealth, and they have the means and the resources to punish and stop those who attempt to put an end to their shenanigans. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to tell the world that all the anti-corruption officers who had paid heavy prices in the course of their duty are our champions and our heroes. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the contributions of former Attorney General Tan Sri Abdul Ghani bin Patil, former Governor of the Central Bank of Malaysia, Tan Sri Dr. Zeti Akhtar Aziz, and former Chief Commissioner of Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, Datuk Sri Muhammad Shukri Abdul, in exposing the One Malaysia Development Berhad scandal. It is a significant case as it became the turning point of Malaysia's political direction and sparked an awakening among Malaysians. Their collective courage and determination brought a kleptocratic regime to its feet in an unprecedented show of people's power. I would also like to express my utmost regards for all the men and women across the globe who had given their time, lives, and commitment in putting an end to the corruption scourge. Tonight, we are here to honor two brave officers who paid heavy prices in their efforts to combat corruption. They will be recipients of the Perdana International Anti-Corruption Champion 2020 Award. The first recipient is Mr. Anthony Kevin Morris, a highly regarded senior deputy public prosecutor of Malaysia who was murdered in 2015 while investigating a corruption scandal. The second recipient is Mr. Novel Baswedan, an officer of Komisi Pemberantasan Korupsi Indonesia. During one of his investigations in June 2016, he had acid thrown at him, leaving him partially blind. Indeed, there are many other brave officers who had suffered in upholding their integrity. To them, the awards to Mr. Morris and Mr. Baswedan symbolizes our appreciation to all of them. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in 2003, the United Nations Convention Against Corruption became the first global treaty to recognize the need for specialized anti-corruption bodies that will focus on prevention, coordination, and education in relation to corruption, and to investigate and prosecute corruption. It requires that the ACA be granted the necessary independence in accordance with the fundamental principles of the legal system of the state party to be able to carry out their functions effectively and without any undue influence. Consequently, in 2012, anti-corruption experts of the UN and other organizations, including the Komisi Pemberantasan Korupsi, that had introduced and endorsed the Jakarta Statement on Principles for Anti-Corruption Agencies, which set out 16 principles providing a detailed guidance on the United Nations Convention Against Corruption concept of necessary independence of an anti-corruption body. One of the 16 principles introduced in the Jakarta Principle is on the appointment of the Chief Commissioner, which stated that the ACA's heads shall be appointed through a process that ensured his or her political stance, impartiality, neutrality, integrity, and competence. It also stipulated that ACA's heads and employees shall have immunity from civil and criminal proceedings for acts committed within the performance of their mandate. They shall be protected from malicious civil and criminal proceedings. These reforms are aimed at ensuring that their appointed officials can act independently in accordance with the law while carrying out their duties effectively without fear of intimidation and abuses by any highly influential people. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the aspiration of the Perdana International Anti-Corruption Champion Foundation is to provide assistance to officers of the anti-corruption agency who are victimized, persecuted, abused, intimidated, threatened, and maliciously punished for carrying out their tasks. I am proud to say that Malaysia has taken a leading role in addressing this matter, starting with the introduction of the foundation. I sincerely hope that our contribution will send a message to all the officers of the anti-corruption agency that the government of Malaysia is with you all the way. And it should also send a message to the corrupt and corruptors that we do not want you in our midst. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful, it is with great pleasure that I launch the Perdana International Anti-Corruption Champion Foundation. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Yang Amat Berhormat. We request Yang Amat Berhormat kindly remain on stage, and we invite Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Haji Abu Qasim Muhammad to join the Honorable Prime Minister on stage for the launch of the Perdana International Anti-Corruption Champion Foundation. Yang Amat Berhormat, kindly place your palm on the launch pad at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
150 anti-corruption agencies have been established all over the world to fight corruption. While investigating those in power, some of them are victimized.
When you're fighting corruption, everybody knows that at every point in time corruption is going to fight back.
Setiap orang yang sedang melakukan upaya-upaya pemberantasan korupsi bisa terancam dengan hal yang sama. Kenapa? Ini kelompoknya ini orangnya itu saja dan dia melakukan perbuatan-perbuatan sampai lebih jauh lagi, yaitu berani menteror atau menyerang orang yang sedang.
I really wanted to do something good for the country, for my people.
The unsung heroes being threatened and abused, harassed, removed, dismissed, and imprisoned.
Corruption is a big problem. James approached me with $15 million in cash to stop his own investigation. They removed me, they attempted on my life, tried to kill me.
With aims to help and protect the ACA's head and officials, as declared by the International Association of Anti-Corruption Authorities, IAACA. A special foundation was set up specifically to fulfill the aim in assisting anti-corruption agencies when such calamities happen to them.
It is the people's wish that the new government will uphold good governance, integrity, to get rid of corrupt practices and abuses of power. It is therefore very necessary for us to fight corruption.
Malaysia proudly announces the launching of Perdana, International Anti-Corruption Champion Fund.
Change is hard, but change is possible.
Thank you, Young Ahmad Bohormat, for launching the Perdana International Anti-Corruption Champion Fund. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we will honor the first two recipients of the Perdana International Anti-Corruption Champion Fund. The first recipient is the late Dato' Anthony Kevin Marias. Receiving the award is his brother, Yang Berbahagia Dato' Richard Marias. The late Dato' Anthony Kevin Marias was the former senior deputy public prosecutor at MACC. The second person to be honored tonight with the Perdana International Anti-Corruption Champion Foundation is Mr. Novel Baswedan from Indonesia, an investigator of the Corruption Eradication Bureau, KPK, in Indonesia. We will now take a moment for a group photograph on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to honor our heroes and champions. Thank you very much, Yang Ahmad Bohormat, for launching the Perdana International Anti-Corruption Champion Fund and for presenting the awards. With that, we invite Yang Ahmad Bohormat back to the main table.
Test mic.